I was 22, flat broke, and trying to get from Bakersfield to Flagstaff. The plan was simple: thumb it, sleep where I could, and pray I didn't run into any psychopaths. I had no idea I'd find myself trapped in the passenger seat of someone's twisted little nightmare. It was dusk when the van pulled over. It was one of those old Dodge Ram vans, the kind with no windows in the back. The driver was a middle-aged guy with stringy blonde hair, wearing a hunting vest over a faded t-shirt that said, "Jesus saves." He smiled like he was trying to stretch his skin too far. I noticed zip ties poking out of his vest pocket. He offered me a ride east. We made small talk. He said his name was Pastor Glenn and that he liked to help wanderers. That should have been my first clue. Every other word out of his mouth was either about sin or how some people don't deserve saving. I kept nodding, tried to seem grateful. It was just a ride. I could get out any time. When it got dark, I noticed we weren't on the interstate anymore. We were on some winding, unlit back road. My phone had no service. I asked him where we were going, and he just said, "Shortcut." Then he said something that froze my blood. "You ever seen a man reborn?" I laughed awkwardly, but he was serious. He started telling me about the process, how some people have to be cleansed the hard way, how they scream, how they cry, but they always come out better. Then he locked the doors. I told him I had to pee, desperately. He looked at me sideways like a butcher sizing up meat, but eventually stopped the van. I hopped out, pretending to walk toward the bushes. Then I ran. I don't know how I managed it, but I sprinted through a field, dodging trees and barbed wire, until I saw a distant farmhouse with lights on. I didn't even stop to knock. I banged until someone answered. The police found the van abandoned the next day. Inside, they found blood-stained zip ties, a box of rusty tools, and a Bible with a hollowed-out center that held photos of missing hitchhikers. All men. All around my age. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear his voice in my head. "You ever seen a man reborn?" I'd been on the road for 8 hours straight, hitchhiking through Nevada with the end goal of reaching Salt Lake City. I got picked up by an older man driving a white Chevy Silverado. He looked like someone's grandpa. Flannel shirt, thick glasses, kind eyes. He offered me a Coke and told me his name was Daryl. We talked about the weather, the highway, nothing heavy. He seemed normal. Then we stopped for gas. That's when I saw the girl. She was in the truck bed, beneath a tarp, blinking up at me in pure terror. Her mouth was gagged and her arms tied in front of her. I froze. Daryl came out of the gas station with a smile and 2 Slim Jims. He followed my gaze and went completely still. Then he laughed. "Oh, you saw her? Don't worry, that's just my niece. Bit of a drama queen." He got in the truck. I didn't move. "You getting in?" he said, eyes now cold, dead. I nodded slowly, got in, and waited until he pulled out of the station. The moment we hit a light, I flung the door open and ran. The cops later found the truck, abandoned in a rest stop. The girl was gone. They never caught Daryl. I still wonder if she's alive. It was a cold, wet night when I saw her standing by the roadside with a duffel bag at her feet and her thumb in the air. I was driving back from my mum's house in Wisconsin, and my playlist had just run out. The silence was suffocating. So was the rain. She looked maybe 19 or 20, pale, soaked, and shivering. I pulled over. She got in without saying a word, sat there clutching her bag like it was her lifeline. I offered her a towel from the back seat. She took it, still silent. I figured she was scared. Who wouldn't be? Hitchhiking in the rain in the middle of nowhere. I told her my name was Brandon. She didn't respond. 15 minutes in, she finally spoke. "You ever lose something that wasn't yours to lose?" I didn't know what to say. She kept staring straight ahead, but something about her voice was wrong, like she was talking from a tunnel, echoey and hollow. "Where are you headed?" I asked. She smiled faintly. "Doesn't matter anymore." She pointed to an exit coming up and told me to take it. It led to an old, cracked parking lot outside a boarded-up diner. I parked. "I'll get out here," she said, reaching for the door. You sure? There's nothing. She was already gone. Except her bag was still in the seat. I got out, called after her, but she was just gone. No footsteps in the mud. No sign of anyone walking away. Back in the car, I opened the bag. Inside was a yellowing newspaper clipping. The headline read, "Young woman found dead in diner parking lot, 2004. It was her photo. I drove home like a maniac. I slept with the lights on that night. The next morning, the bag was gone. I never saw her again. But sometimes, when I drive past abandoned places, I swear I see her, standing there, soaked, waiting for someone else to pick her up.